Your schoolmates should imitate the way you tap your potential. Let me try to convince them why their effort is essential. Our men and women in uniform, before, during, and after Desert Storm, always perform above the norm, anywhere and everywhere on the planet. They need to follow our heroes' lead, but they cannot lead if they cannot read. Allow me, please, to plant this seed. Don't take freedom for granted. I'm serious, I'm furious to see U.S. schools behind. Remove the clatter, it's just a matter of our making up our minds. In this parade, please wave your grades at the brave who fight for you. If you don't gain, they fight in vain. Show them what you can do. Show them what you can do. Please show them what you can do. We believe in you, warriors protect you to do what you must to rise. Please do your part. Please start before another warrior dies. In this parade, please wave your grades at the brave who fight for you. If you don't gain, they fight in vain. Show them what you can do. Show them what you can do. Please show them what you can do. They sacrifice for you. Show them what you can do. Please show them what you can do. Please.
Good afternoon and welcome to Wave Your Grades on KUAW.org, the academic patriotism program that is dedicated to veterans and serious secondary scholars. I am your announcer, DeQuay Wilson. Now here is our host, civilian urban educator, Carl Boyd.
Thank you so very, very much, and good afternoon. Am I being heard? I am glad to hear that. As we start our February 22nd program, we had a little technical difficulty, and we are certainly looking forward to today's very special guest. My name is Carl Boyd. I am a civilian. Just had a conversation with a gentleman earlier. He and I are civilians, but we are civilian educators who support and who appreciate those who serve and those who have served. I wanted to emphasize that today because it is a very special time during our Black History Month. It is a very special time as we regroup and get back involved with schools. We have a very particular relationship with the VFW Post 8100, and I am blessed and I'm proud that I am a member of the VFW Auxiliary of Post 8100. And when we are talking to our very special guest this afternoon, we can get into the difference between the two. And we are also wanting our audience to meet, for some, and reintroduce to some others a very, very special commander. We are in the Grandview community where BFW Post 8100 happens to reside, happens to have their office, happens to have their personnel. So I don't know if you can hear the distortion, but this is one of those days where technology is a challenge, but that's quite all right, because when technology is a challenge, that also means that we have opportunities to learn and to grow. And so it is. My name is Carl Boyd. I am your civilian host of Wave Your Grades. And while we are correcting the technological difficulties, that gives an opportunity to explain what Wave Your Grades stands for. We chose the title, Wave Your Grades, and produced the theme song, Wave Your Grades, because the suggestion is that we want our young people, we want our students across the United States of America to do more than wave the flag. That is symbolic. We want our young people to wave their grades. And by the way, producer and engineer, our co-host, is our guest ready for us this afternoon. Hello there to our very special guest this afternoon, Commander Jarena Floyd. Are you with us?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Ooh, I can hear you perfectly. That is so wonderful. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is so wonderful. Let me tell you probably two or three reasons that this is so special. One is anytime we get an opportunity on KUAW.org and on our program Wave Your Grades to have dignitaries, that not only helps us as it relates to gaining some popularity in the community, but it also gives us significant credibility as we can help others to understand their importance if they should ask why. And we say we had Commander Jarena Floyd on the program. That expands our credibility. The other thing is we really want to motivate young people to participate in the activities that we have. One among them, for instance, essay contest. And we would like for those who are veterans and those who have veterans of foreign wars in their families to understand the opportunity they have to join us. So, having said all that, let me ask Commander Jarena Floyd to introduce yourself by proper title.
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't consider myself a dignitary, but I do appreciate you saying that.
It's true.
But I am Jarena Floyd. I'm the VFW commander for the VFW Post, Grandview Memorial Post 8100.
That is, you know what? It's the first time, and we've known each other for a little while, that I've heard the term Grandview Memorial Post. Is there a particular reason for Memorial Post?
All I know is when I became commander, that was part of our name.
Yes, ma'am.
And,
How
and
long?
if you don't put the memorial in it, then you're not saying our full title.
Now you're talking. How long have you been with Post 8100?
I was a member of the Post when Gerald Caldwell was the commander.
Yes.
And I believe he was commander 2015, 2016 year.
Okay. And across, I could say across the nation, certainly locally, how many female commanders do you have?
I know of one other
Right.
female commander that was commander of Lee Summit's VFW
Okay.
Post 1589. She was not African American, and she did not finish out her 2-year term.
I see.
She didn't even complete her first year, but they put 1 year just to put
Absolutely.
years in.
Okay. So that the normal term is 2 years.
A normal term for a commander is 2 years, yes.
And let us suppose that there is someone listening who is a veteran and they don't know all of the qualifications for joining a veteran of foreign wars post. If someone wanted to know what they needed to do, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to apply because they don't have to be a veteran of a foreign war.
Oh, okay.
Because it depends on the medals that they have won.
Wow.
Um, our current treasurer, which is the quartermaster, he did not. He was in the Navy, and he did not serve in a foreign war. But the ship he was on was in combat waters, and because of some of the medals he received, he's eligible. But the main criteria is being a veteran of foreign wars. But
And
you don't have to have served in a foreign war.
that's
It
good to
depends
know.
on your criteria.
That is very good to know. And if they wanted to contact VFW Post 8100, where would they look?
Well, we do have a website. We do have a Facebook page, but our phone number is 800 So that's 765-8100.
Outstanding. And as it relates to the kinds of activities in which they participate, you and I know each other well enough to point to essay contests or student activities because I've been allowed to join the VFW auxiliary. So if somebody said, what are the kinds of things that you do? That's one thing. If someone were to join the VFW, what are the kinds of activities that they would participate in?
Um, well, we do have a yearly day of service, and this year we've been participating in the Grandview Harry Hay Day Parade, which is in honor of Harry S. Truman,
Oh,
and we lead that parade. We are the first entries. We've been the first, as far as I can remember, to start off the parade, and the parade is growing yearly. With word of mouth, you know, more entries have made this parade more of a success. And we just go through the downtown city, a little bit of residential. We start off at Second Missionary Baptist Church in Grandview, and we go a little bit through the residential, and then we come down Main and go through downtown Grandview, and then we come back to the starting point back at the church. And it's usually the first Saturday in May.
oh, okay. Every once in a while, there will be an organization, a state office, something like that, doing a clothes drive or a hunger drive or something like that. Is that something that is done on an annual basis, or there are just organizations who call you to ask for your participation?
And yes, and we do volunteer our time, and we also do volunteer other resources. We have made financial donations to different organizations. We've given to the GAP, which is Grandview Assistance Program.
Oh,
We donate financially to them. We've donated financially to Salvation Army, as well as been bell ringers to help support the Salvation Army's mission of bell ringers. We've also donated to the Hickman Mills Community Assistance Program financially. So we've done quite a bit of financial donations. Here recently, the Ivanhoe Temple of Masonic Lodge has even asked us for a donation, and we will be donating to. They are having a barbecue and this barbecue proceeds are going to help the veterans that go to do the honor flight.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's outstanding.
Mhm.
And from my being in attendance at an activity or two at the post, I know of, for instance, the second Saturday morning breakfast. That's when several of the CBs are present and other veterans. And I know that at one time, or perhaps it continues, there's bingo, I think on Monday night or something like that. Are there, is that accurate, and are there other activities?
Yes, sir. Yes, these are ongoing activities. The breakfast every second Saturday, and that does end just before our monthly meeting, the VFW Post monthly meeting. And then the bingo is held every Monday, with the exception of weather conditions
Oh,
being
yes.
too severe. But every Monday, except I guess if Christmas and New Year's fall on a Monday, and Memorial Day and Labor Day. But the meal is served. We have a meal that's provided. I think it's $7, and they can call the post number to find out what the meal that's being served, and it's served from 5 p.m. to 6:30, and then bingo starts at 7 p.m. on Mondays. Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that there is at least one activity of which I am very proud and appreciative. Our group responsible for this Saturday afternoon program is called Stoots for Boots. And that name, Stoots, that acronym stands for Students Theater of Operations, the school. And that is asking students to take school seriously, just as military personnel take their theaters of operation seriously as well. So that's Stoots for Boots. And your post has allowed us to use the post for board meetings. And that is so greatly appreciated. Organizations who might be interested in renting space, occupying space, forming a partnership, can do so how, and what kinds of organizations generally will?
Well, we do rent our post for parties,
Okay.
birthday parties, baby showers, repasses, meetings. We've had a Masonic group have a breakfast there. We've had a class reunion have their brunch. Well,
Yeah.
and we do have bartenders on staff, and I was told our drinks for the purchase price are less than half that for an
Wow.
alcoholic beverage
Yes.
than at local other establishments. So we do have a pretty comparative rental rate. We just call the number, and if you call the number, now we're not there, but the way our answer machine is set up, it will have my name and phone number on the answering machine. So.
Well, one of the most recent public affairs of which I was really, really proud to observe was your hosting winners of a recent essay contest for high school students. Uh, can you tell us anything about that?
Yes, sir. Every year, the VFW has a national contest. And after our national convention that's held in September, in August, they come out with a new essay title. And they have a program for all school-age students. The elementary have a coloring contest,
Wow.
and that is done through the auxiliary. But through the VFW portion, we have a middle school written essay, and the high school, it's a written and verbal. And the essay for the middle school, it's the title is The Patriot's Pen.
Yes.
But the high school one is The Voices of Democracy. And like I said, every year they come out with a different title. And then the students think about their title, and then they form their words, they put them down in writing, and the high schoolers submit a written and a verbal essay, and then we have judges that will judge them. And we do give out, depending on how many students. If we have only one, they'll get first place. If we have, this year we happen to have several that were from Grandview High School, and one of our own members, his granddaughter, and I want to say she might have been from a high school in Overland Park School District. And she won first place, and then the rest of the school students from Grandview, they had a second place, a third place, and fourth and fifth. So that was really the third, well, runner-up. So we had quite a few students that submitted. So each student that submitted an essay did receive money. And so first place is 100, second place is 75, third place is 50, and then the honorable mentions get 25. So we did put out quite a bit of money. Plus, we did have a dinner, and we acknowledged our
Yes.
first responders as well. And the dinner was free, and it was, brisket and fried chicken. It was a pretty decent meal.
And
So
it was very, very well done. And when we think about the young people who were there, who read their essays, who was it, one or two? I don't remember, but these are local young people. Does the competition go further than our local community?
Oh, yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. Once they place our judges, we send up our first place winner to our district level, and there's 8 other VFW posts in our district. So our first place winner will compete against each post first place winner. And then that winner goes on to the state level. Then that state level winner will go on to national.
Wow.
And the higher they go, the more money they would receive. And if they make it to the national level, I believe it's $25,000.
Yes.
So to me, it's worth putting in your time.
Yes,
It's no
yes,
more than
yes.
just to receive a small monetary and a free dinner from us. And then who knows, they could go on higher to the district level, state level, or even the national level.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is certainly worth it. Not only that, that is something that you can put on your bio when you are getting ready to apply for college or for work or whatever it might be. So it's a plus plus all the way around.
Yes, sir.
So our organization, Stoots for Boots, as well as I mentioned that I am a member of the VFW Auxiliary, all can promote for young people to be a part of these activities. So that is very, very good. I don't know if DeQuay, were you ready? Um, as we get ready to go into our first break, I'm going to ask Sister Jorena Floyd to talk about some of what she does, and we should be able to come back by 3:30 or 4 o'clock, something like that, by the time she gets through letting us know. But my wife, wonderful Wanda Boyd, and I are privileged to be members of Friendship Baptist Church. And Sister DeQuay, it turns out that Sister Jorena Floyd is a member of our church. Sister, will you tell us some of the activities in which you participate? I just want to know how you have
my
time to
goodness.
do as much as
Uh-huh.
you do.
Yes, yes, Brother Boyd. I am a very active member of Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, where Pastor um,
James A.
James
Torrance
Carr
Jr.
is our pastor.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I am involved in quite a few ministries. I'm in the choir. I'm in, let's see, I, I'm an adult usher. I'm a co-captain for the youth ushers. I'm in our Hope Ministry, which is our food pantry, the senior adult ministry, our women union mission, which is WMU, which is part of the National Baptist Convention. And so we have the local church level, the district level, state level, regional, and then it goes up to state. And so I am the district level mission action person. So since what we do is missionary work, most of the work that we do, I'm responsible for chairing, planning, organizing, following through. I'm that person for our district level. And we have 28 churches in our
Wow.
district that are local, that are part of the National Baptist
My
Convention.
Lord.
And it will be held in Kansas City this year.
Oh, very good. And do we see you in the choir?
Yes, sir. I am in the choir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
we're going to take a break, but before, I just want to let you know that just in case you need it, I will ask Pastor Terrence if he can find something for you to do. So
I'm busy every Sunday. I haven't worn my regular clothes
isn't
in
that the
quite a few
truth?
years because each Sunday, the choir has black.
Yes,
Yeah, the ushers, we have uniforms,
that's right.
and I work in the media on fourth Sunday, and even the media has specific colors and shirts that we wear. So I have a closet full of clothing that I have not worn in quite a while.
I can imagine. My goodness gracious. We're going to go through a break. Can you stay a moment? And I'll just have a couple more questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Here is DeQuay Wilson.
Reminding our 7th through 12th grade students that you can win a monetary award from our sponsoring organization. Yes, we do say organization on purpose, with purpose. Students for Booties. Your essay title will be Heroes You Know You Didn't Know Were Heroes. Your contents will identify a veteran at your school. It can be absolutely anyone. Custodian, coach, teacher, absolutely anyone. If your essay is chosen and submitted by an adult who gives you permission to read it on this Wave Your Grades program, you will be awarded a monetary prize. Please send entry or inquiry to acpatkuaw2024 AOL.com at AOL.com. Again, pretty long, ACPATKUAW 2024 AOL.com at AOL.com. Back back to our host, Carl Ward.
Thank you so very, very much. And our very special guest, Commander Jorenna Floyd, VFW Memorial Post 8100, and stellar member of Friendship Baptist Church. I'm not sure that I recalled the number correctly for the post, and for those who might be interested in becoming active, please repeat that number.
Okay, our VFW post there in Grandview, the phone number is 816-765-8100. 765-8100.
Thank you very, very much. And one of the reasons I wanted to do that, and one of the reasons I am so honored that you are on with us, is because some years ago, DeQuay, I don't know how many years now we've been on, but we've had conversations about younger VFW members. And Sister Commander Jorenna Floyd, here is a conversation that DeQuay and I had before. Actually, we started on another station, and the person in the station, a member of VFW, said that the stereotype of VFW members were elderly white men with cigars who hung out after working hours, and it was a stereotype that seemed to omit young black, particularly females, even young black males not participating at the level Gerald Campbell wanted them to be. But is there a trend, and how might we help younger, more diverse members join the BFW Memorial Post?
Well, first of all, to remind everyone that, again, you don't necessarily have to have served in a foreign war. It would just depend. You could apply. But a lot of us don't realize that with me being an African-American woman and being the first one elected for our post, when I first joined, I was always just the secretary.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how I went from secretary to commander.
Wow.
Usually you have to be a first vice or second vice commander in order to step up into the commander role.
A hearty congratulations to you. Yes.
Thank you. So anything is possible. And a lot of people, as the stereotype is changing, it's not just,
yes,
that's who started the post and started the VFW. But under my command, since I've been a member, we've had 4 African American men to be commanders, and then I'm the first woman African American commander, and I've been commander since 2021.
wow,
And almost every year when we do elections in March, and when the nomination vote is open, somehow it my name comes back up again for commander. So I'm gonna say I'm doing something right.
without a doubt, and more than once, on a repetitive basis. And when you were serving, what was your duty, or what were your duties as an active enlisted female?
I think they changed the classification since I've been in, but back when I was in, my job classification was 76 Juliet, or 76J, which was medical supply.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now that's interesting when you say supply. Um, when I opened the program and I said that you are our distinguished guest, and when I talked about how pleased and proud we are that you are indeed joining us, DeQuay and I had a singular privilege of having, as part of the program, you have probably heard of and watched the 6888, but if not, that iconic group of black females responsible for getting the mail out. So when you were talking about medics, talking about medicine, you're talking about your very important job. Did you happen to see that movie? Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with the movie. I haven't seen it, but it was highlighted in the since I'm a member of the DAV, which is Disabled American Veterans.
Oh, yes.
They sent out a publication,
Wow.
and they were highlighted in that publication, and they interviewed several of the active duty ones. At the time when they did the article, it was 2 or 3 living at the time.
Yes.
And they were highlighted in this article. And 1 or 2 of them weren't even old enough to join. Their parents had to sign to have them enlist. I don't know if that was put out in the movie, because like I said, I didn't see the movie, but
Right.
I have seen different clips of the movie just from YouTube videos.
Yes. Yes.
And it is an excellent portrayal of what women in combat had to go through.
Wow.
And it's even more of a disgrace of how women in combat were treated, more because they were African American women at that stage.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
they were already treating African American male soldiers that way, but then women were treated even worse. So I was discriminated in the beginning as the first African American woman, but I guess through perseverance, I'm still there as commander.
Well, I'll tell you, we are very proud and pleased and appreciative that you continue and that you have that kind of perseverance. And by the way, young people, elementary school students and high school students, when their sponsors call 816-765-8100, can call to ask for a field trip, could they not, to the post?
Yes, sir.
There.
And we could also come to their schools to speak.
There you go.
And we have also had a school in the Raytown School District to ask for monetary donations that we will be providing for them. The reason they asked is because some of the students that are not free lunch students, they've either been reduced or they pay.
Yes.
Sometimes their balances go delinquent, and so they've asked us to pay that fee, and it's over $200 so far for this school year, and we will be sending a check to that elementary school in the Raytown district because they stepped up and sent us a letter, and we responded.
Well, I am so glad that you did, and I'm so glad that you mentioned it on the program, because this is the kind of announcement we need to make, because we are, quote, theoretically, unquote, working both with the schools and with the VFW Post. I put that in quotes only because we need to do a better job of it. But that's the kind of thing that our young people need to hear about and understand, that it is not just a post that boasts about a service, but in fact has all of these kinds of involvements in the community. We thank you for that. We congratulate you for that, but we also want to help you for that. Being a member of VFW Auxiliary, getting an opportunity to be at the post from time to time, if I were going to have young people visit, I would say, and look for some of what is displayed on your walls. And what I am suggesting is, if I brought a group of students to just do a field trip there, what are some of the things that they might learn about VFW personnel, past and present?
Yes. Well, we do have pictures on the wall of our current commander, which is myself,
Yes.
and the current auxiliary president. And there is a book that has every commander and every president that has served our post.
Wow.
And they can see the history of all of the pictures from years past. And we do not just serve veterans. We serve the veterans, the families, and the surrounding community.
There you
So
go.
it's not just Grandview. Like I said, that school district is in Raytown School District. So we do serve the surrounding communities. The Hickman Mills Community Assistance Program that we donated a financial donation to, that's not in Grandview. So we do serve
Wow.
veterans, families, and the surrounding community.
That's fantastic. And one of the gentlemen I was privileged to meet early on when DeQuay and I started the program was a gentleman whose name is Sidney Malone. And at the time that we met him, Sidney Malone was commander of the American Legion Post 149. The name of that post is the Wayne Minor Post, and there is an effort to have students learn about Wayne Minor. The reason I mention that to the commander of a BFW Memorial Post is because I'm wondering if you have occasion to cooperate with, for instance, an American Legion organization. Are you competitive towards one another? How are your relationships with other organizations?
Well, there's quite a few members that are members of several organizations.
Good to know.
And so, yeah, so that they don't necessarily overlap, but you can be a member of the American Legion, the VFW,
That
DAV, which is Disabled American Veterans. And last year, Grandview High School was sponsoring a student to go to a summer camp that was provided from the American Legion Auxiliary. It was near St. Louis. And we financially sponsored
wow.
this young student to go to this camp that was sponsored by the American Legion's Auxiliary. So yes, we do overlap organizations when needed. If someone just wants us to collaborate, a lot of times we've done collaborations with the Salvation Army, it's bell ringers, and other organizations they have invited us to. So if we get an invitation, we're going. If it's nobody but just me, the commander.
My Lord, and you do find a way. I don't know how, but you absolutely do find a way, and that is a blessing. That is very, 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 very wonderful in too many ways to mention. And in today's world, the way things are going on many fronts, including the military front, would you be prone to encourage young recruits to come on board? What would your advice be if someone came to you and said that they are interested in joining the service? What do they need to know?
Well, I need to remind them, even those that are not interested. Some say, well, I've served my time.
Yes.
We're still serving. And we
Wow.
do still, like I said, serve the other veterans, their families, and the surrounding communities. So it's more than just a way to give back and to continue serving those that we serve everybody. I
Yes,
put it like
ma'am.
that. So there's no reason to
Absolutely.
stop serving.
Okay. This should be indeed very encouraging, very motivating to young people. And Louis George Walker is not in the room right now. He is our producer, but there are certain programs that we tend to say, please make sure that you save this particular program and allow us to use it to let young people know some of the things that are going on. And I'm kind of surprised, but I am pleasantly surprised that you spent a full program with us. We might leave a little early, but my goodness, we cannot thank you enough for giving us the kind of information that you give and for doing the kinds of things you do. For your closing remarks for this program on this day, anything that you want to say in particular or ask in particular?
Yes, I did want to mention that one of our newest life members happened to be my own 94-year-old dad that I take care of in my own home. And with me taking care of him and all the other organizations that I'm involved in actively, I just encourage others to give some of their time, talents, and resources to help others.
Yes, indeed. And you did say 94 years old.
Yes, sir. My dad is 94. Yes, sir. He
My,
served in the U.S. Army in the Korean War.
is that right?
Yes, sir.
My
So that
oldest,
made him eligible for the VFW.
without
Yes,
a doubt, my oldest brother served in the Korean War, 1952 until 1955.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they might have served at the same time. It was certainly the same war, so I'm sure it probably overlapped.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, unfortunately, in one sense, thank you is not enough. And considering that your dad served in the Korean War and all that meant at the time, I cannot help but say we have not yet given most veterans their just dues. So
Yes, sir.
for you to feel that it is helpful in even the most modest way to introduce that on this show is extremely flattering to DeQuay and myself, because that says a whole lot, and we cannot say enough for your father. So,
Okay. Yes, sir. Well, thank you for your invitation to join your program. I am most honored.
well, this is our honor in too many ways to name. And by the way, please don't be surprised if we call on you again, because we know you'll be doing something that we'll be interested in. So,
Yes, sir.
God bless you. And by the way, my wife and I can claim personal friendship as well as being comrades in arms, so to speak. So we thank you very, very, very much.
as well as neighbors.
As well as neighbor, wave down the street. We're that close, neighbors.
Yes, in the same subdivision. Yes, sir.
So we are proud as we can be. And our greetings, hello to your dad, and we will talk again soon. And if we don't wave this evening, we'll see each other at church.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. God bless you and thank you.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for accepting.
Thank you.
To imagine that this commander, being as busy as she is and taking out that much time, that is absolutely flattering. That is an honor. We cannot thank her enough. And so it is that we are on Wave Your Grades, and wanted to get an opportunity to close just a little early. But before doing that, it's kind of a catch-up program. The weather, so many things have been going on that it is now a pleasure to be able to say that we will catch up with our oh, you know what? I did not mention it to Commander Floyd, but their post has actually offered to give part of a monetary award for our essay contest, which is really remarkable. Our contest is called Heroes You Know. You didn't know were heroes. Now, for the young people who are in grades 7 through 12, that would be middle and senior high school, male and female, you are eligible to write a 2-page essay, Heroes You Know, You Didn't Know Were Heroes, about an adult in your school. Now, this is how this goes. We have actually awarded one essay from Syria Shields, and her essay was about a school administrator, and by this time, at this point, he was a veteran school administrator. Veteran meaning military, but also a veteran school administrator. He was retired at that time. And she was so impressed with what he does as a volunteer, with what he did as an educator, with what he did as a military person, that she wrote an essay about Carl Evans, former school principal. We are encouraging now young people who are in attendance, junior high and high school, to write an essay about a person who works at their school. Now that means as high as the principal and as practical as the custodian, cafeteria worker, coach counselor, someone at their school whom they might take for granted, they might see every day. Wouldn't it be wonderful to learn that this female cafeteria worker who walks slowly, does not look tough, is just a good person, a nice person, says hello when she serves the young people, to find out that she earned the Medal of Honor, the Medal of Honor in the military. And this young person gets an opportunity to write about it. There are coaches who might just do the job that they do, enjoy coaching and whatever it might be, only to find out that they were in the service for 32 years and nobody ever knew that they were veterans. So, heroes you know, you didn't know were heroes, but when you found out, you decided to write the essay. Now, I can give
That's remarkable. Yeah.
I can get hello. I, yes, I didn't know whether you were mentioning an announcement, Sister Floyd.
No, I was just listening and
Oh, okay.
admiring your story.
Oh well, this is really I am impressed with a number of people who are working in our schools who don't get credit for some of what they have done, but most particularly in the military. And so it is that what I was going to say to the KUAW is that we have a new email address that's a little easier, and it is academicpatriotism@gmail.com. Academicpatriotism@gmail.com. And so it is a very, very profound thank you to Commander Jarena Floyd, and I turn it over to DeQuay Wilson.
Well, I would like to
Thank
thank
you.
I would like to thank our listeners, our viewers, and also as equally important, our guest for joining us on your Stoots for Boots Wave Your Grades program. We come to you live every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. Central Standard Time from the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center right here in Kansas City, Missouri. I am your announcer, DeQuay Wilson. Now, our host, Carl Boyd, will close with his daily message for students in honor of our veterans from his book, Morning Messages.
Thank you so very, very much. To students across the USA, your Stoots for Boots message for this day, February 22nd. If you don't know why you should try hard in school, please visit a VA hospital. To students across the USA, your Stoots for Boots message for this day, February 22nd. If you don't know why you should try hard in school, please visit a VA hospital. Thank you. Thank you, Commander Floyd, DeQuay Wilson. My name is Carl Boyd, gracious God and wonderful Wanda. I'm on my way home.